Good evening. We are back with Letsema Live. Welcome back to our viewers, our comrades, and our compatriots who've been tuning in with us today. We've had an eventful day. We are bringing you provincial secretary after provincial secretary. Right now, we're about to have a wonderful conversation. And this is what this really is. It's a wonderful chat between ourselves, you, and our studio guest. And our studio guest right now is none other than the Provincial Secretary of the South African National Civic Organization, otherwise known as SANCO, Comrade Vincent Diradidzile. Comrade Vincent, welcome.
Yes, no, welcome and good afternoon. Good afternoon to the viewers also.
We're
And
so glad to have you with us.
yeah,
We're
I'm
going to
also
have a
glad.
wonderful conversation today.
Yes.
Like I've introduced the show, this is Letsema Live. We're talking all things Letsema, all things ANC, all things alliance structures, and how we're getting that message across, what the purpose of Letsema is to our communities. And with that, I want to start by asking you the first and most important question for those viewers out there who don't know. What does SANCO do beyond its alliance with the ANC? The task, the key objectives of SANCO.
Yes, thanks, Cholo. No, you see, the key objectives of SANCO is to basically mobilize communities around their their civic responsibilities and really encourage and inculcate that culture of civic responsibility. Uh, it goes hand in hand with the spirit of Letsema. What we normally used to do in back in the days was to contribute towards society by also involving yourselves in terms of the local development of society where we live, and in that way we were actually doing a Letsema program. So Letsema is not new; it has been there all these years. It's only the the economic conditions that are changing, and now people feel generally they want to do something and be rewarded with something. But in the civic movement, we accept a reward uh, as being the beautification of the environment that we live in, as being the sacrifice you are doing, you are giving towards your community for development. Um, and yeah, I would say our role is basically to mobilize communities to be proactively involved in their own development, if I might put it in one sentence.
In one
Yeah.
simple package.
Yes.
Wonderful. So, Comrade Vince, when I think about this morning's interaction with the provincial secretary, he mentioned, we asked him, break down and the meaning of Letsema. And he said Letsema is volunteerism. A lot of what you've just said to me right now speaks once more to communities bringing that aspect of volunteerism. Do you believe that for SANCO and its members, and as an alliance of the movement, it's going to be easy for you guys to really motivate your members and the broader society to join hands with the ANC in taking Letsema forward?
Yes, look, Chulo, what I can tell you is volunteerism, it's true what the secretary was saying, the ANC secretary was saying. It's basically volunteering. Letsema is about volunteering. Um, our role in that program is the mobilization for our people to go back to our roots. What we used to do in the days, it's different now. It's different because there are different challenges that are actually confronting us, like like poverty, unemployment, and all that. So it's difficult to ask for a person to volunteer nowadays. But you see the motivation of it. That is our strength in terms of motivating people to really come back and bring back that spirit. And I think that's what the Letsema intends to do and it's aiming to do. It's to bring back that Ubuntu spirit back to us to say, but yes, it's our government. It's our democratic government. We need to care for it. If we do not care for it, No one will do that. And that's where the bases come in, where people always ask ourselves, like as Sanko leaders, why is Sanko supporting the ANC, not the other? And we said, yes, but can you give us a better plan than what the ANC has offered to our communities and our country? And we still maintain that there's no other political party that has the best plan to liberate our country, actually to develop our country to an extent where everyone would be able to put the shoulder to the wheel and build the economy. I think we need that equal contribution as a community towards what government is doing. We need to augment what government is doing, and we move from that point in terms of encouraging our people to really support the program of Letsema.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I would have not done my task as a host had I not researched a little bit about Sanko. And what I discovered about Sanko was your formation actually became what it was in 1992. You consolidated many other civic organizations. So under your banner fall many aspects of the society and sectors that society needs to get access to. And something else that was one of your tasks is the fact that you make sure that communities are able to access not only government but parastatals as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel that that is also something that Sanko can bring to the table in terms of the Letsema program? You have those sectors that you can bring for stakeholder engagements, moreover.
Yes, you're correct. What our aim is to engage the entities, state entities, in different social programs. Look, in the past we used to work with ESCOM Foundation. They used to fund our social programs. We used to work in the province with with Telkom Foundation. And yes, Spoornet, we had a community safety program in Pixley that we launched together with them, where we were trying to revive the street committees and all that, because it's about community safety. So yes, there's a lot of possibilities where we will engage the state entities and even the other private sector companies. We used to have programs with even De Beers. We had programs with De Beers where the De Beers Foundation was actually sponsoring certain programs. We can explore a lot of other programs outside of government. Cleaning, you know, our province, we have a challenge with some of the towns that are not that much clean. There's those opportunities. Now, the stumbling block there is why is Sanko not being seen to be rising to that occasion? It's yes, we have a resource problem. We have a challenge of, as I'm saying, people being readily available to do volunteering work, because sometimes to volunteer you need to have some kind of startup resources. So those are the challenges which we are looking into towards mobilizing our communities to say, this is what we can do without that much budget, but at least for starters to volunteer and be part of these programs. Identify the programs, let's look funding for the programs. And I think if the private sector can see we have a plan on the table, they would be able to come to the party. We hope so. And I think that's the only way where we will revive that spirit of voluntarism. If we can have private sector buy-in into our programs. Yeah.
Alive with possibility. This is all that I'm hearing from Comrade Vincent, the Provincial Secretary of Sanko in the Northern Cape. With those few words, let's go to ad break. Switch. We're done.
Voorwaarts ANC, voorwaarts! Daar's baie mense wat sê hulle is president en CIC's, daar's net een hier in die land. En dis Cyril Ramaphosa. When we took over, the unemployment in the province was 29%.
Yeah.
unemployment is standing at 23% now, official unemployment, standing at 23%. We are the first province to overtake the Western Cape in a period of 8 years. So for the past 7 quarters of this 6th administration, we have the lowest unemployment within the Western Cape, which has always been the trailblazer with regard to issues of unemployment. At the heart of our problem is beneficiation. It's a difficult matter to deal with. It's center, it's a core periphery development trajectory, where areas like the Northern Cape are looked at as extraction points. You go to Kimberley now, you drive into a team that is busy fixing potholes.
Yeah.
There's teams all over the country.
So it's not true that anything disappeared.
If we say we are going to make available 160 million for the fixing of potholes, it's not that there won't be potholes tomorrow.
Yeah.
There should be work that should take place.
Yeah.
Easiest way people experience the existence of the ANC is through the conduct of its members. So the ANC has got a responsibility to protect itself against the conduct of its members that can impugn on its image. So I think the argument of Sopra, it becomes legalistic. He wants to become technical. Step aside, it's a matter of morality and ethics.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are almost at the end of our interview with the Provincial Secretary of SANCO in the Northern Cape, Comrade Vincent Iradidzile. If you are only tuning in now, you've missed out on quite a hectic conversation. We ended it off talking about how alive with possibility we are. And with that, Comrade Vincent, I want you to explain to me in the best possible way, if we had to say SANCO at municipalities were to join arms, to be a force to be reckoned with in terms of bringing alive that spirit of activism and volunteerism, having access to stakeholders that are willing to partner, from the private sector moreover, willing to partner with bringing better basic services to our communities, what would a South Africa look like under that banner?
I think we will have a very, very, very beautiful country. I can tell you, and a successful country for that matter. The civics, our leaders understand local issues. And local government, if you couple it with community participation, with dedicated leaders who are there on the ground, who are in touch with the people on the ground, I think we will have, it will only be the best success that we can ever dream of. SANCO leaders needs to be brought on board in terms of the IDPs, in terms of ward committee participation. We need to have them involved in that sector. In terms of community safety, we need to have them involved in the community policing forums. They must participate in this. SANCO is the raw crop that represents communities. What committees are there? It doesn't mean they mustn't. They will meet. They definitely have to have a relationship. And by that relationship, it only strengthens development at the grassroots level. It links in. It links so nicely in. But I think we only lose it there where we do not understand each other's role, where it's sometimes misconstrued, misunderstood, actually, in terms of these turf wars, like people feel, I'm a ward committee, no, you are a SANCO. No, it can't be. We are all community leaders, and we need to accept it in that fashion and say, we are doing it for the better of our communities. I think we can contribute towards local government development from a community perspective if we just have that relationship, heal that relationship between us and not have turf fightings and all those sorts of things.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us, Comrade Vincent. You've given us a lot of food for thought. Viewers, we're going for another quick ad break because we're bringing you something even more exciting. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. I told you a very short ad break. I hope you didn't change that dial. Don't you dare leave us if you're joining us through YouTube, ANC Northern Cape. If you're joining us through Facebook, African National Congress, Northern Cape, welcome, viewers, family, one and all. And I told you we had a big surprise for you. We have the newly appointed, well, actually, not so new anymore. I think he's gotten stuck in the mud with it right about now. Ntate Bartholomew Matlala, the municipal manager for the hosting city, Soplaiki Municipality. Mr. Matlala, welcome.
Thank you, Tsolo, and good evening to the viewers at home.
It is such an honor to be sitting here with the man of the city himself next to the youngest mayor in the country. Young and old, bridging that age gap to get the city moving forward. I do believe Soplaki can look forward to a cleaner, greener, safer, modern, growing city.
No, thanks. Yeah, I think where we are now, we are working on developing a growth and development strategy. And that strategy is about planning 30 years ahead so that we are able to confront all challenges that the residents of Solplaiki are facing. Here we talk about housing, we talk about roads, we talk about general amenities, services, but also growing the economy of Kimberley. Viewers would recall that Kimberley was built on mining, and the lifespan of diamonds has come to an end. So we need to be looking at a different economic trajectory as a city. We also have the Solplaiki University, which is giving a new nuance to the development of the city. But where I am hopeful that Solplaiki, it's a city of the future.
Oh, yes. I think residents of Kimberley would also be looking quite forward to that. A city of the future. I think the Premier is going to be more than impressed with working hand in hand with Soplaiki Municipality going forward about that growing, modern, successful city and province. Now, Mr. Matlala, when you talk about challenges, and I'm sure by now you're quite au fait with the many challenges that Soplaiki is faced with. I mean, with the last visit of the President, who will be here with us on Saturday once more, there was quite a lot of controversy on the lack of services that was delivered to communities. How are you planning with the IDP in mind? That is a 5-year plan for the municipality and strained budgets to try your utmost best to turn that situation around.
Well, I'm sure residents of Kimberley would have seen that there is much improvement in terms of addressing service delivery challenges. One of the things we have done is to develop a service delivery turnaround strategy. And that strategy is now into the first phase of its implementation. And where I'm very comfortable with the work that has been done. So I am very confident that when the President comes to Solplaiki, he will obviously see a different picture. We have put a lot of effort in in improving on service delivery. If you look at places like Rodepan, if you look at places like Colville, if you look at places like Greenpoint, we've put a lot of work into those places. Even Khalishiwe also, if you look at Khalishiwe, all the major roads going into and out of Khalishiwe, we have closed the potholes, and we have addressed sewer spillages, and yeah, we are intensifying this program so that we offer our people a better service. So, like as I said, I'm very confident that when the President comes, he will see a different picture than the last time when he was here.
Well, lovely. We just sat down with the Sanko Provincial Secretary, who has just alluded to the fact that Sanko itself is looking forward to working with municipality and any available stakeholder to make sure that every city, every municipality in the country is taken 5 steps forward. Now, Kimberley being the city of first, and I know you're a man who knows your Kimberley history quite well, Mr. Matlala, would that be something that the municipality is absolutely looking forward to? Stakeholders, society, civic organizations, societal organizations, community, taking Soplaiki leadership, political and administrative, by the hand and saying, let's walk this path of returning Kimberley to its former glory together.
Thanks, Sulu. Maybe I must just give a bit of history in terms of where we are now. Sanko played a critical role. You earlier on mentioned that when it was established in 1992, it was a combination of civic organizations throughout the country. Now, even here in Kimberley and Solplaiki municipality, you had civic leaders who later became Sanko, who were leading the transitional negotiations to establish Solplaiki municipality. So historically, with this new local government system that we have, which was established in 2000, the civic organizations played a critical role. And where I stand, I think Sanko has a very critical role to play around issues of public participation, informing the discourse of the municipality in terms of going forward. You were talking about Letsema. Sanko has a very critical role to play around Letsema in terms of the various programs that communities can run, or even the ANC can run, and the Youth League. And here I'm not only limiting it to cleaning. There are many challenges which youth can participate in, for example, unblocking sewer, getting involved in street lights programs, and all that. That volunteering spirit can be expanded to various facets, which in turn will improve service delivery. It is about people taking responsibility for their own wards where they live. So there is for me, I see a broader scope which can in fact even improve service delivery.
Wonderful. Friends, family, colleagues, compatriots, comrades. It is so sad that we have such a limited time to have these wonderful engagements, but we're going to leave you with that as a teaser for maybe what the president can enhance on Saturday. We look forward to fruitful engagements with the president on Saturday, and for now, tonight, we bid you good night. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.